So I was like, okay, I'm going to carry this little purse. Might as well. And that evening, I took my wolf dog and my purse on a walk to this punk show that was down the street. And it wasn't punk at all. It was this woman who looked exactly, I mean, she was wearing, I could show you the video, I took video, it looked exactly like this goddess. It was this Indian woman. In this half-built house, singing these ancient songs and dancing. And I was like, wow, that's really trippy. I carried the Lakshmi purse, and there she is, like in my 2,000 person town, in this half-built house, giving the most beautiful performance at a punk show, like local punk show. And, you know, these are how the deities and archetypes appear to us. I've had this happen a lot. This is kind of what happens when you hold it lightly and practice like an artistic experience, like a sociologist, you know, like, and that I was going to understand what meditation does. And I was going to feel the magical powers that you can get from this practice, you know. I was like just a full body yes at the very thought of it, even though it would take 20 or 30 years. And now here I am 20 or 30 years later, and it's been like this for a while. It's like these powers come really naturally, as though we're meant to have them as humans, you know, like even with our cell phones and stuff, being able to be in multiple places at once. I spend all day healing people with my hands. You know, and then these archetypes come through, these goddesses, we can embody them into beings. And when we think of them that way, we can sort of understand them, and then they more easily drop into our lives symbolically through these archetypal symbols. This is an ancient way of humaning around, right? I've had it with Ganesha. I've had a lot of dancing with Ganesha. I've had it with Kali. There was a Kali period. That was pretty wild. And then Lakshmi, she's been peeping at me. I've been playing with painting her and feeling her. So it was pretty amazing that I carry the old junky purse, and there she is embodied in this woman, right? And so it was Asha. She's a beautiful Rajasthani woman from this ancient tribe that's so ancient that, you know, they can't even trace it, but they think it might have come from Egypt, and they were the Gypsies. And she's gypsying her way around the world. She's internationally famous. She has thousands and thousands of students, and all over the world, millions of followers. And I was like, teach us anything, Asha. Like, can I organize something for you where you teach us? And so I organized a snake dance. She does a snake dance. So I organized it. I got the space, and I organized the people, and I was like, Asha's just going to teach us something. It's going to be my class that she's going to help me with, and, you know, donations, so it's legal and everything, and just come. And she taught us, she's going to teach us her ancient dance. So then my mother gets West Nile virus and almost dies. My mother who is she taught me psychic powers, she taught me art, she got me into yoga, she made me meditate. We also drive each other nuts, and she didn't really keep doing any of that in her life, passing it on to me, very frustrating. And there, this snake woman Lakshmi drops into my life, and my mother gets West Nile, and she's on the brink of death. I take her to the hospital, you know, because she can't walk. And but then I'm forced to do this ancient snake dance for hours and hours, you know, practicing it, and then doing this workshop while my mother's in the hospital, you know, because I couldn't like live at the hospital, and I had planned this. And so I'm forced to do this snake dance while my mother's dying. And the snake is a symbol of rebirth and regeneration, right? It's like it sheds its skin. It's an ancient symbol of this, right? I use it like with the spiral too, the spiraling in and out of experiences. And so here Lakshmi is the goddess of spiritual wealth into physical wealth, is forcing me to do this snake dance while my mother almost dies. But then at 80 with lots of health problems, she miraculously lives through West Nile virus, right? And she starts to she couldn't remember my middle name, she couldn't walk, but now she's walking too much and she remembers stuff. And my fiercely independent mother is forced to allow me to help her. Finally, because she and I have not had a very good relationship. But I'm realizing now the deep nature of the feminine. Like when she was about to die, I got on my knees and prayed in the middle of my living room. And I like a scientific prayer where I just call out the reality I want to live in. And I said, please, as my mother is learning to receive, as my mother is learning to submit to her life and to death, may she either, if her soul wants to live, may she live, may she have the capacity to truly enjoy her life and feel her potential and move to a point where she feels satisfied with her life. Or if she's going to die, let her die quickly and gently, right? And I said, let me be able to feel real, genuine love and connection with her. And, you know, just really be able to engage with her no matter what. And as she is going through this, as she's learning to receive help and as she's being forced to receive support because she's a fiercely independent person, may I too learn without having to be physically debilitated, without having to be financially forced into it. May I be able to learn these same lessons with her in full strength, full health, and capacity to continue on through, you know, a full and well-balanced life as a whole person with these lessons that I'm sharing with her right now, right? And so she lived. So anyway, now she's decided to live, and it's like we're actually able to connect. And her ability to just let me help her, like she has to see my strength in these areas where they also feel like power, you know, like having dominance over someone, helping someone who really needs it is a form of power and dominance. It can be used manipulatively. It's also a way of connecting, but I'm realizing that as I'm trying to get rid of my own fiercely independent, I can do everything myself wound that a lot of women have, that my mother releasing it makes her so lovely to be around. Like I, from the bottom of my being, from the core of my being, want to go be around her. It went from maybe having to put her into some kind of recovery home to like, well, I don't have to carry you around or wipe your butt. Like you can walk and you can, why don't you come live at my house, you know? And then now I'm going through all of the resources that she created for herself as a Vietnam vet of the Air Force, and through her work and everything, you know, the things that she accumulated. And it's like able to attain a profound amount of respect for the way that she lived her life. And excited about nurturing her. It feels so good to be able to help her. Like, whereas before there was always this feeling of, you can't do it as good as me. You need my help. I don't need anything from you. You know, that feels like independence, or it feels like trying to lay off of people, but actually it causes a huge block in relating. And it causes a frustration. Like, I did not like being around her. And I think about myself. I think about these women who are hardened as a defense mechanism, not really allowing help in it. And I mean, with the women, I'm fourth generation single mother. It comes from many generations of having men fail us, having men abuse us, expecting, and then it turns into expecting them to hurt us and expecting to have to do everything ourselves. And so just believing that that's the way it's going to be and setting things up that way, it prevents help. Like, it prevents love. It prevents connection. And it keeps people at bay. And the people that are supposed to love us, the people that are supposed to support us, you know, we have these dharmas, these soul contracts with people, start to resent us because we won't let them in. We don't trust them, and we're actually putting down what they're capable of. Whereas to soften, to allow, to trust, to open is the most beautiful way to let someone come into their strongest offering, to let someone come into their power, their beauty, their strength, their ability to support us. It's like, as much as we can believe that will happen, is how much we allow someone to do this for us. And it's such a relief to be able to hold this space in her life, because it's what I'm meant to do. And as I do that, so much support is coming in for me. Like, so much support from everything she's created for me to be able to hold space for her. And for me to be able to create a community around her, and to just be there with her, and to be at home, and to be working on the things that I'm creating to offer to the world instead of just one person. It's the most amazing thing. It's the most amazing understanding of the nature of feminine energy. And, you know, how subtle it is. It's an allowing, it's a softening, it's an opening. It's something that we value. It's a vulnerability, and a lot of us, we think of it as being weak, but actually it's another kind of strength. It's like a mega strength that gives birth to everything. And anyway, it's a shift and a falling into a necessary archetype that I've been afraid of, you know, that my mother and I have been avoiding. And actually, intergenerationally, what happens is the mothers are mean to the daughters, and then the daughters realize what the mothers were after they croak, and the daughters, the single mothers in my family, so then the daughters get all the mother stuff and finally get able to pay off their bills and get out of survival mode, but the mother doesn't get to enjoy it. And so this painful cycle just keeps repeating itself. And you know, the chance to experience this with my mother, witnessing, and to step into the space of caring for her, even though I've been dreading it and it felt like I would kind of have to sacrifice my life for it. It's actually exhilarating, and it's a source of freedom in just coming into what's natural and stepping into my power as a nurturing force for my mother. And you know, it was the same when I had my son. Single parenting looked horrible, but actually to embrace it and find the truth in it is an exhilarating sense of freedom and power. So I'm finding it's the same with the idea of being able to take care of my mother. And you know, it's a mystery I couldn't have fathomed. But as we click over into it, due to a tragedy, it's such a relief, you know, because having my mother be like, I'll do everything for you, it's unnatural, but I'm just going to do as much as possible because that's what I've always done. And me being like, I'm not as good as you, I'll just receive. There's no way I could possibly step into that blocked system that you have, that blocked container, and do anything for you unless you ask. It's like to have that click over into just, I'm here to help you, I'm here to support you, you supported me, I love you, I'm here to hold you. Let's examine what you've created in your life and both enjoy it for a little while before you leave is the most amazing feeling. And I'm finding that I'm able to claim parts of myself that I was avoiding. And, you know, I had to do some work around it. I felt this coming, and I had to do work over kind of something in me that thought I might die before my mother. And what was that? And I realized that it's like, not only was I afraid to take on her, as we take on resources from people, we also take on their work that they were supposed to do with those resources. And, you know, as we take from people, we also take the karma and dharma associated with those things. And I was afraid to take on my mother's work that she didn't finish because it's an intergenerational wound and it's ancient. I come from a long line of powerful, super psychic women and who didn't really get to live up to their own satisfaction in this last era, you know, because we've been like birthing the feminine power being actively present in our world, right? And now we're here. I'm not saying that it's more, but it's in balance, and the feminine is here and available and activated. And, you know, I realized that I was afraid to take on my mother's work. And actually, now that I open up to it, it's like, wow, what an extraordinary mission. And wow, how she set me up for it. Even though she didn't devote her life to art and dance and meditation and sacred movement, and she didn't feel like she could do what she wanted to do, she gave me all of those tools, and I'm doing that. And it's up to me to really live her desires too, not as she would, like as myself, but just to live up to my own potential. And as I even feel more and more of that in this liminal period where my mom is releasing her body, but she's still here, and I get to feel the truth of her, like I'm soaking it up. It's such a gift to have this time, and I feel like the snake dance like of regeneration and rebirth, that ancient dance was a way to create that in the world, like in 3D. It was a prayer from my mother, and of course I want her soul to do what it wants, but just if she could live up to her own satisfaction. I have to do that for myself too.